things going, folks. I've got displays of everything over here. And let me... Hi, Jonathan. See, people are here. Just... In and out is okay. In and out is totally fine. Anyway.
Sometimes I...
Okay, that is not... So... when were you last on? So my plan, Jonathan, is we have been doing the cantrips. We've gotten to the point where we're doing the wizard cantrips. I actually have not finished the writing system, but I switched to the wizard cantrips for a good reason. Because, let's see, here we go. Because in 2 weeks, we are going to have this event. And can you guys see that? Okay. Yeah. We are going to have, and my apologies. This is not any language of mine. This is Joey Windsor's language Dal-A, so I don't know how that X is supposed to be pronounced. I'm just going to assume that it's like a H. So we are going to play an adventure called the Cheshor Tablet. Cheshor or Cheshor. I have to... Joey is not available at the moment, so I need to... when he does become available, I need to ask him how to pronounce these words. But it's going to be me, as well as Artifexian, Agma Schwa, Bibleridian, David Peterson, and Joey Windsor will be the DM. So that's exciting, but it also meant, once we figured out a date, that I had to get a character ready, and I had to get incantations ready. And, anyone who has, for anyone who has been on the streams will know that I made some priorities as to which of the cantrips I did first. And, I don't know if I actually went out and mentioned it. Most of the time I was just saying I did it for reasons. But these are the cantrips that my sorcerer character knows. So, in order to do... Oh, let me get that thing again. In order to have this adventure, I need to have incantations, at least for the spells. I'm playing a level 3 draconic bloodline sorcerer, so he knows about 8 spells. I need to have those 8 spells at least. But since I had to go and start doing cantrips then I just decided to continue that. And so we're going to, on stream, we're going to do all of the wizard cantrips plus Eldritch Blast. And we've got, so this is a bit of a tongue twister. This is going to be difficult to say, but EPB good cookie good cookie EPB good cookie good Döbe kafayübe egrebe ginsrafübe okay chutote egre. That's electric hand there. Okay. One thing I messed up. I have the Family Feud team is assembled. Oh yeah, I did not. Maybe I should have asked David if I could be part of that. But anyway, I dream of a hand. Yeah. So. Dream. Yeah, well, I generally, since my native dialect is a y'all dialect, that's sort of where I go to when I am translating plural second person. But I have an errata for that, in that I forgot I just did rei before last time, and it was and I realized that either I was going to have to make it ergative, or I was going to have to put an instrumental construction, because rei in the nominative does not make sense as like the agent of the verb. I considered actually making it, because it is a little odd to me to mark something inanimate as ergative. And a lot of languages will like prevent that from happening. They will not mark them as ergative, mark inanimates as ergative. They'll instead go for something like an instrumental construction or something like that. But I decided in the end, the ergative fit. It would have been reindis ugin faite, and I just felt like with the postposition in there, it was a little bit clunky, and it feels better to say reidi ugin faite. Just the two words. One thing is, like, I'm taking into account casting time in all of these, and since these are all one action, you got to say them within well less than 6 seconds in order to get them off in order for them to be realistic. But anyway, we have so, and I think I may have also had to fix the chill touch. I think I had the aigre in nominative. It should be accusative, because is that 2? No, that should be 3. Okay, there. Live change. But also this illustrates too that sometimes when you've got a multi-target spell, then you're going to have variants. The biggest, I don't have this here, but my character is going, my spell loadout might change. But currently I have my character knowing Featherfall, and I realized that you need like 4, if you have person referenced at all, you need like 4 different ones, because you can cast it on yourself, You can cast it on another person. You can cast it on yourself and other people, or you can cast it on a group that's separate from you. All it is that the only notation for Featherfall is you can cast it on up to 6 people within range. So it's a little bit wonky. I went with like first and second person references for that. But that's a leveled spell. That's not something I will go over on stream. So now we've got a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these done, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to go, including some difficult ones like prestidigitation. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle, just because yeah, that's true, Miles. I think like a splash of acid could be felt as more animate. Also, the fact that the acid is magical itself could be one thing. This also might be something where I say, okay, these incantations were written by humanoid wizards and not dragons. Maybe dragons would prefer an instrumental construction here, but humanoids kind of misunderstand draconic grammar and ended up using it the way that they did. So anyway, don't do anything cool while Jake toasts some bread. That's lovely. But anyway, I do hope you guys come and on the 17th, and that will be like 2.5 hours earlier than the regular stream, in order to hang out with us and do the adventure. But for now, we are going to move on and get started on cantrips. And I need to look up dancing lights. 5e. And I'm gonna read from D&D Beyond now, because I was using Roll20, and sometimes they do weird things with the spells, like they mess up the spells. Okay, can you guys see that? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're going to. It's gonna be fun. Okay. So dancing lights it's a concentration spell. I don't think that really matters for what I'm doing, because like I don't think you're gonna be chanting through a concentration spell, because while you are doing concentration spells, you can also cast other spells that are not concentration, right? It's just like this spell is being held in the back of your mind while you're doing everything else you're doing. So it's a cantrip. Casting time 1 action. So not going to be super short, but about as short as most of the ones we've done here. Range is 120 feet. Okay. Verbal, somatic, and material components. I have not. That might be something I could consider. The material components. It's a bit of phosphorus or witchwood or a glowworm. Thing is, like there's 3 different possible components that you might be using, and I wouldn't necessarily want my incantation to highlight one of them. Um, there's some other spells, like I think I won't be doing that in Draconic, but I think there's a resurrection spell that requires you to crush a diamond, right? And that one, maybe I would reference the spell component because it seems like a very important flavor thing. But anyway, you create up to 4 torch-sized lights within range, making them appear as torches, lanterns, or glowing orbs that hover in the air for the duration. You can also combine the 4 lights into one glowing, vaguely humanoid form of medium size. Whichever form you choose, each light sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the lights up to 60 feet to a new spot within range. A light must be within 20 feet of another light created by this spell. And a light winks out if it exceeds the spell's range. Okay, so you're summoning up to 4 lights. I don't think I'm going to specify the number of lights you're summoning in this. It's just say lights. But so they shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. So dancing lights is not really for like giving you a useful amount of light. At least it's not really for lighting your way in the dungeon, right? Oh, Miles, you're watching on the TV? Okay. I hope I look good on a TV. I don't know if I'm high res enough for that. But it seems like more like a sort of a. I mean, it's some illumination, right? But it's not like the light spell. If we go to light, huh? Why is this being light? Light. We go to light. Then that one is like you get 20-foot radius of bright light and then 20-foot radius of additional 20 feet of dim light. That's for that. This is the spell for lighting your way in a dark dungeon, whereas the dancing lights is kind of more just like a subtle have something floating around, right? I don't have a diminutive, but that's a good point, Jonathan. I did make an augmentative that is a prefix. Yeah, so this is from Masho, right? So I built that. I basically did that to make my daughter's name work for the meaning she wanted. So I have an augmentative that's a prefix. So I could consider doing a diminutive prefix as well. Have to look at small, like Ike means small or little, tiny, I don't know. Yeah. No, I like what you're saying in Jonathan. Since this is a smaller light source that gives off less light, then a diminutive would work. Diminutive and plural. Um, so if we look up the, right. So here's what I can say. Here's what we can do. How about we do this? We add a new one. We have an eek prefix. And this is our etymology. Okay. And right. So we can do that. It's got to be an adjective for the source. And we can just derive it from smaller little. It'll be pretty obscured in a lot of cases because if there's a consonant, this K will be deleted. It'll just be E. But then we have that is eek. I suppose I should say like it'll be like capital I, right? Because it can be it can be eek, or it can be ick. No, that's wrong. I want ick, right? Yeah, it could be. We probably like one thing I thought would be funny is like if I had a word for giant, um, like specifically for like the humanoid giants, and I made a diminutive version of that as another term for humanoids. But also remember that uh, that humanoids write the spells. Right? So, yeah. I could also like have ikedo. Ikedo. Let's get the back because I'm gonna need that. The so durund or dore. So so depends on what verb we're doing, what form I need to do. I want to use some kind of some plural verb form. So eat. Like if I summon it, it's going to be accusative. Summon or dream or I probably not necessarily dream. This is an evocation. One thing is like to a dragon, all magic is about dreaming. In fact, the word for magic, the word for magic as a practice is instrafun. Instrafun, it means I'm extremely organized today, but you were not here the stream that I accidentally doxed myself. Don't worry, I have gone back through that stream and blurred out all the personal information, but I accidentally showed some tax forms on stream once, and that was not good. Led to me abandoning using the scanner for any writing stuff. But anyway. But so we've got dancing lights. We're going here. Do we want to have the dancing involved? We don't need to necessarily call them dancing lights in the spell. Anyway, what I was saying is dream is what dragons call magic, and it's because they call the astral plane. This is me. I know I said I wanted to minimize the world building, but this is a bit of world building that I do want to build in. Is that dragons call the astral plane the dream of the world, and they see all magic as coming through dreams. But the wizards are more likely to use the dream metaphor for illusions and possibly some enchantment spells. The dragons don't care too much about the schools of magic that's invented by humanoid wizards. Dragons just naturally have a grasp of magic, so they don't really worry too much about categorizing it. But I did use it for Mage Hand, because the Mage Hand, it's described as a spectral hand. It's described as being sort of insubstantial. So I felt like it specifically could be, even though it's conjuration, be a dream metaphor. But anyway, so we could go with the lights dance. I don't know how to operationalize a verb meaning to dance. Because, what is dancing to a dragon? Flying might work. Flutter. If I can get a verb meaning flutter, flit or flutter, yeah, because that might be something that dragons would have because they're concerned with flying. Maybe very infant dragons would flit around, right? And they would have a specific verb for that. And also to describe the movement of other smaller flying creatures, because dragons definitely cannot flit, right? And then humans could, and then the wizards might extend that to any small object flying. Yeah. Iterative of flap for flutter, maybe. I was thinking probably something that means flit more likely than flutter. Flap makes sense. A lot of words for bats have a relation to flap. The English word you will see as soon as I say it, it comes from literally the verb to bat, as in to hit something like that, right? Um, uh, because they bat their wings against the air. So that could be a potential source. I have a word for strike. To hit or strike. But I think that's like a more substantial hit than a bat. We could have. Do I have anything for flap? No. I guess flitting around. I mean, what does flit even mean? I think it's usually flit to move swiftly and lightly. Yeah. I think something that means both like flit and flutter probably works because it's sort of a similar concept, right? You were halfway through Biblaridian's latest video. That's great. I need to catch up on his videos, get myself prepared, and start watching his more conlangy videos. I see. So did he release the last of his alien biospheres? Because I have noticed a slight uptick in people watching my interview of him. So I will check on that. So dancing lights. So then it would be just nominative. So we stick with the idere. And then let's figure out what's a good one for flit. Word, we can look in the draconic notes and see some of these. Key. So this should be, I think this should be in key, actually. Eda, ae, ipid, gapi makes sense. Let's, I see several of these that I like. So I'm going to put this to a poll real quick. So let's say this one will mean flap or will have meant flap. So this is our word for flap, which becomes flutter. And I might I have not tried to do any reduplication. And I do like reduplication for like an iterative thing. I've used it before. But eda. So here's your three options: gapi, nki, or eda. And let's see which one you guys like. I have the chat room over here, so that's why I'm looking I have a whole screen here. And well, that's a very strong showing here. Okay. Um Let me just quickly see how many people are watching so I can make sure. Okay. Well, we can end the poll. Actually, that I was just thinking about if we ended up with in key, um, I could do a particular reduplication trick here. Um, so here I have, okay, like to flap. And we'll have two different options. Let me list out the options here so that I can easily tell you. So, reduplication of for iteratives. I have a thought. I think what I'll do is you can reduplicate the first syllable, but we have two different options here. We have full reduplication of the syllable. So then it would be nkinki, nkinki, nkinki. That sounds pretty good. Or we could go with reduplication simplifies onset. And so we would by deleting prenasal. So we'd have nkiki, nkiki. So nkinki versus nkiki. Do I want to give the other option of deleting the stop? Nkingi. I think I just want to do these two options for you guys. And so this would have consequences beyond this. Like this is going to be a general grammatical thing. So it's either the nasal portion there before maybe any initial consonant. I would have to see about that. So would end up with this deletion. So it'd be either nkinki or nkiki. Nkiki versus mboba. Mboba. We were having a discussion a long time back about exactly how you pronounce the B-O-U-B-A. Let's start a poll. Which how does iterative and I think this will be like a derivational iterative too. It's not going to be we're not necessarily going to use this grammatically. It's going to be like this creates a new lexical item. But application work. So I have option A is just full reduplication, at least of the first syllable. We can hash out other details, or I can hash out other details later. Or is it going to be deleting, simplifying the cluster by deleting the first element here? So the pronunciation of booba. That's not what I was thinking. That I was not gonna do that. Okay. Nkinki or Nkiki. Okay, this is a competitive vote, I'm telling you guys. Okay, I'll give you guys one more minute of that to think about that. But we have a general idea. Let me start adding this in. So key and so etymology is proto key right. I know there's no match found. I'm making a new thing, and we will add the pronunciation. Got it first try. And we can figure out some other things. Now let's take this and we will plug it into Lexergy. Gunki, Benki, Tanki. And I need to actually adjust this. I need to add a homogeneic nasal rule because I don't actually want them to be non-homogeneic. But I will fix that just sort of manually right now. Just add some G's in here. So it's Benki, Drinky. Okay, and let's end the poll. Drinky, Ginky. So that's a funny coincidence. It's drinky. So we can do that, and then we can copy this and then add. So ngiki, nkiki, nkiki. Okay, and etymology is reduplication of nki, and we just add another key to every one here. And to flutter or to flit. Okay. So it would be nginkiki. Nginkiki is the form that we would be going for the third person plural. And so idere ginkiki. Idere ginkiki. Benkiki would be the second person. First person is first person plural. So that would be we flutter, right? I'm wondering if I can. Actually, I've got an idea here. So let me see. I'm not going to use it this way. I'm going to go. Let me look at my draconic notes. Let's go to the participles. So we'll go with. I've not used the active, so it would end up being u. So I'm actually going to do this. So do it this way, actually. Change my mind. Because the thing is, Dancing Lights has a long range. It's not really a combat spell. It doesn't need to be super short. I can be a little bit more flowery. So we can go Ngiki idro, and if we look for circle, ngikab. Ngigab. So this means to circle, right? So what we have is flutter. Let's just gloss it as flutter. I'm spending a lot of time on a spell that probably very few people use, but that's just how it is. This is active participle. So this is like they're more of a subject. And then diminutive light light, plural, and then 3 plural, circle. Ngikiku, nkikiku, nkikiku, nkikiu, nkikiu, idere gigab. So the fluttering light circle. Fluttering lights circle. So it's, if you think about it, like the circle is originally from the idea of circling something from high above, but it's generally sort of like a general term for like static motion in the air, right? There's often a sense of expectation from it or something in this language, but I think it works in this sense because they're not just fluttering. They are close. They are within a certain range of you. They're not going everywhere. They're not like shooting off somewhere. Okay, so mending. Let's move on. Let's talk about mending. We might not get so far in this one because we ended up talking a lot. But let's go and look up mending. Okay. Cantrip. Casting time 1 minute. So we can be as long as we want on this incantation. This is one where I might actually, I had not like really fully fleshed out poetry rules, but I might want to have an opportunity to do it. Range, area, touch, verbal somatic material, 2 lodestones. Maybe. Instantaneous transmutation. And then this spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, a torn cloak, or a leaking wineskin. As long as the break or tear is no larger than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it, leaving no trace of the former damage. This spell can physically repair a magic item or construct, but the spell can't restore magic to such an object. So, like, if a breaking, we could do some kind of a couplet, because it doesn't, since the casting time is 1 minute, it doesn't matter how long it is really. Because I'm not going to do super long things. I didn't know that any of these was possible. This is actually kind of a powerful spell if you think about it, because like you can break things. This the Adventure Zone had a really cool use of this, because there was a magic apple that that they had to retrieve, and they had to like trick some centaurs into giving it up, and they did it they both needed it to be perfect, and so they broke it in half, and then later, and so the centaurs didn't want it, and then later they went back and they cast mending, and it was perfect again. Which I don't know if I would have ruled that would work, but that's an interesting thing. But like, it's a cantrip, so the fact that that it has to be no larger than 1 foot is not that much of a limitation as long as you have time to cast it multiple times, right? Anyway, um, they so we have so let's see. So something about mending something, right? I've been thinking about mending. I was thinking like what was broken. What was broken is now whole. Something like that. Right. Yeah. I think that's I think that's a good one. We can sort of, and maybe we can do like two different. Um, what I have done, because I've run into like longer casting times on, especially like rituals in the uh, in in the other spells, is I have based it on uh, syllable count, um, like 7 syllables per line, and then parallelism, structural parallelism, as my structural components for a poem. So we can try to do something with that. So let's let's start off by getting an idea of broken. I have wound. I have a something for wounded, but we need to. This is specifically for inanimate objects. I want something that's probably specifically just about things being broken or torn. Um, right. Oh, no. Ah, I realize that I have a way to make this super complicated. Probably unnecessarily complicated, but in a way that's fun for conlanging. So let's go cut, break. So, okay. We did a whole episode on this once. Cutting and breaking. And so we may want to. So we can. Right. Is there a good chart in here just of all the associations? Okay. So this was the actions that people saw in a video and how they grouped them, right? And yeah, so like here we have like things that are like more cutting actions, things that are more chopping actions, things that are more tearing or breaking actions. Let me see if I can get. This is just in Germanic, right? Um, so so you can see that you could cut up like little um, little subclusters of these things, right? But we need to think about like what, yeah. To share this, I think once I'm done with the cantrips, I will share them publicly somewhere. And I will do like a conlang spotlight. Excuse my daughter's yelling in the background. Do like a conlang spotlight of Ndakaga. But I'm gonna save like I'm gonna do all of the arcane spells myself off stream, and I want to package that into a book eventually. So let's. It might be easier to get this in on clicks in order to divide up this space, and then cut. Let's go with cut. Let's go to subgraph cut. Or let's actually, we probably want to do with break. Right. Okay. Subgraph of break as in cleave. Okay. So break as in cleave. You got split, cut, chop, grind, tear. And so we need to think about like in terms of like cutting versus tearing, breaking. If we're thinking about like the semantic space of let's just put the English words down here to look at the semantic space. So we have like cut, chop, break, tear, you can have slice, I think those are the major ones, right? How do we draw lines around these, right? And how do I have this is the wrong program to use for this. Let's go to Inkscape because I can't move things around easily. Oh yeah, clicks. I need to get a whole video on clicks. So I don't need to. I'm just gonna make a new one. So let's we can have like cut, break, tear, chop, slice, saw, you know, all of these. Cut and break are like the core ones, right? And these sort of are off in the periphery. Oh, we might want to include crush. Crush. Now, something to think about is that, like, dragons, are going to be interacting with things differently. And, what do the claws do exactly? Right? The claws scratch things, they tear things. But I think maybe we could have a distinction of tear and break being separate, and then probably cut. Cut might actually be close, similar. Because the thing is, like, oh, the name of the paper? Here, I can grab you. There's two papers I can. Let me drop citations. Is this? Yeah. Why is it? It's not recognizing the DOI correctly. Let me just take out the DOI is making it too long. So let me take out the DOI is useful. So I will take out some of this stuff. I think you guys will prefer having the DOI to having that, because you can look things up with the DOI. And then copy the bibliography on this one. And do the same thing here. This second one is just Germanic, so keep that in mind. Oof. I'm going to take the subtitle off of this because I really want you guys to have the DOI to just click the link and get to it. You can also it's not working. Oh, the links are not working. Okay. But here you can look it up. It's Majid et al. How similar are semantic categories in closely related languages. This is the Germanic one, and this one is also Majid, Boster and Bowerman, the cross-linguistic categorization of everyday events, a study of cutting and breaking. Oh, okay. Yeah. And if you don't have access, try like Google Scholar, or try, other ways of getting scientific papers that I won't mention on stream. But anyway, but the general idea is like all of these things that have to do with, like destroying something by, putting it into parts can end up being like, sort of teased apart. And the thing I'm thinking about is that dragons do a lot of these things with their claws. And you can do a lot of this, and they're not necessarily doing a whole lot with tools, right? So I think like cut and slice and tear are going to be very similar for a dragon. So, um, and this is not the end all be all of what a dragon language should have. I'm just saying, why? What? That's okay. Why is it like that? Huh? Why is there a thing coming out of the center of my circle? Um, Now breaking is similar. I think break. I think crushing can be its own thing, right? But like break and chop probably can be grouped together. Saw, I'm not sure exactly where to put it. Um, Saw, it's kind of its own thing, but it's also something that like is they're not going to necessarily have a serrated tool that they use, right? Oh, okay. Anyway, you guys can see what I'm going for. I think I will put saw in with this. So we can get these three words um and then we can use that to like cover the basis of different things that can uh be done. So let's go find three roots. Um our draconic notes, let's go into the lexical notes. Can grab, I do have a slash or pierce quiche, but that's like surface level damage. That's not like actually like breaking things apart. I think breaking things apart is more what I'm after here. Um, so it's gonna be pretty basic. Gapi chage upit. And then we can look at the writing origins for some of these ones that we didn't use. Ri might be a good one. Sita, susi, fedi, kegu, ka, ka. Tuke, te, pie, I like. So let's actually, I'm going to just try out different things in here and see what grabs me for words for these different groups here. So we can I want to put P in here. And I don't want stroke. I do want fill. And let's make this bold. Oh, cancel. No. So, and then I want ra. I want the ka. I want the ka. Right, so we can put cut in here somewhere. And sasu. I think re. Let's go with these three. And let's see. Well, actually, okay, I'm thinking. This, yeah, okay. I think, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Let's go with tuke here for crush. And then we've got ri or ka. Is it p e, right? P e. I think actually we're not going to do p e. Let's go with ri for the slicing and ka. And this is going to make some things interesting. Let's see. Do we want ri or p e? P e. Ka. Yeah, okay. So both of these can mean break. See you, Jonathan. Okay. Crush. Okay. So here's what we're cooking with. Okay. So let's make these into words. So I need to grab the I need to put all of these in let's get all of these in here. So and we got our inflection work. Okay, gonna be transdiv. And we go into here. Oh no. Oh no, Firefox, please work for me. And back to here. And we go here. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, I've got an idea. So let's, P is this one. Ri is here, and this is not going to be part of it. It's going to mean whole or complete. And so let's go get things into the system here. So took is this is going to have to be the last one for now. Ah. It's to crush. Okay, probably not actually going to use that in this spell because it's not for mending things that were crushed. I hate that. Oh, I know it always happens. It's always weird about trying to bold that. And I don't know how to do this. Okay. Okay, I don't have time to fight with this stupid thing, so I'm just going to leave that. What's going on? Why can't I delete this table? Okay. This is ridiculous. I just want to get rid of this table now, since you won't let me undo things in a table. Okay, so let's go ahead and get one that is relevant here. Let's go make break. right? G is yeah, and then yeah, we'll deal with that later. But this is to break or chop. And then what we will have is so it would be kaffa. Why is it supposed to be bolded? Kaffa, and then ri, what's the itty or on we want on to be, just give me the, this is one issue, is that it's not, let's get to it through the backlinks here, go to on, so you betcha. And then that would mean break passive participle, whole 3 B, this is a special B verb, effective. So what was broken is whole, or the broken thing is whole. The broken thing is whole now, something like that. Now, and then I guess I just don't need to, I will get the forms later. Let's just like make sure that we have everything documented, all the words documented here. So we have PA, yeah. Wait. Oh, no, that's tear. Right, okay. So then we have PA, is just the same. And then this tear or cut, slice, saw, but not chop, right? This is chop. And then we would have, let's bring it back to here. And so P E fa rie I ubecha. And then that would be tear, passive participle, whole, and then 3B perfective. And then what was torn is whole. Now, let's count syllables, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7 syllables. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8 syllables. So we can we can get into, okay, we have a mismatch. This is 7 syllables. My target is 7 syllables. So how can I make this not 7 syllables? So one thing is I could try to find a different adjective here. And let's look at all the adjectives that we have. Chag, and we may not be able to do everything. Smooth, iffy. Right? So we have so this means whole or complete, right? Let's make sure that I have look at that with this whole complete. And make sure that it goes into the right place, because I don't want to mistake that for another language's word. These should all go in that pile. Okay. So this is a little difficult to do when you have still a fairly small lexicon. Looking at this, right. So we have our parallelism here, but we have the wrong number of syllables in one line. So, what can we do? Okay. Well, I'm going to have to end it here and leave you guys in suspense. But just keep in mind, this is 7 syllables. And this is 8 syllables. And then we're going to have to find some way to rectify that, because what I am doing is counting the number of syllables. And maybe I can turn these into 15 syllable lines, and then I'll have more, maybe I can make these a single 15 syllable line, and then I have more leeway. Or maybe I can do so, but you know, we've moved on from conlanging to doing poetry, and that entails some interesting things. Just live trying to figure out what the poetry system is going to be. But thank you all for watching. I need to go pick up a baby. I'm a little late getting started on that. And I will see you guys next time. Next time, we will continue this and get as many of them done as we can. And then in 2 weeks, on the 17th, we're going to have live D&D session with me and Artifexian, Biblaridian, Agma Schwa, David Peterson, and Joey Windsor. And I hope to see... I hope that you all come for that, to see this adventure. Let me share that link in the chat. Yeah, see you next week. Go tell your other D&D friends about that, so because probably will be fun for general D&D fans and TTRPG fans as well as you guys. So with that, I'm going to say see you next time and happy conlanging.